My name is Leewantalia, and I am a victorious one. Okay.
All right. Hello and welcome to Real Talk with Coach Titi. I am your host, of course, Coach Titi. And today we have a special guest. Please give a warm welcome to Leelee, yours truly. She is a YouTube celebrity, honey. Okay. Fuck what you heard. Known for vlogging her real life with good or bad. It doesn't matter, good or bad. Okay. She's doing this unapologetically. She's also the owner and CEO of Pocketbook University. This business teaches you all the ins and outs of this YouTube streets, child. Okay.
Mhm.
She is now a newly licensed real estate agent in the state of Chattanooga, Tennessee, okay, specializing in preparing you to purchase your luxury home by getting your credit together because that's very important, okay? She is just amazing and I'm so excited because she's never done an interview with none of you hoes but me, okay? Welcome, Lily. How are you today?
I'm doing amazing. How are you today?
I'm blessed. I'm doing really, really good. Okay. I just want to thank you, first of all, for allowing me to pop your podcast cherry. Okay.
Period.
Uh, okay. I wanted to do this today for my Victorious Ones series. It's
Okay.
important for me to showcase women who have been through some things, right?
Yes.
And that have
Yes.
gotten through some things and are doing amazing for themselves because I don't want people to think that where they are now is where they'll stay. You grow,
Right.
you evolve, you learn, you heal, and that makes you the better version of yourself so you can live to tell a story, child. Okay, so
Absolutely. Yes.
yes. Tell me about Lee Wanta. Okay.
Oh,
Growing
man.
up, your upbringing and all of the things. How was
Okay.
your childhood like growing up?
It's like how far back you want to go? No, I'm just playing, but look,
Honey,
I'm gonna say because I'm gonna say like my childhood, my mom and my dad were both very prominent in my life, right? My dad was on the road a lot, but they divorced when I was like 18, but they separated when I was 2, right?
mhm,
So I grew up in a household where my grandmother, she had 7 kids. She had 5 girls, 2 boys. And so, of those 7 kids, they had 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 kids, right?
woo,
And so, we lived in a 3 bedroom house in a neighborhood called Highland Park, which was like the
okay,
hood. My family
okay,
was like HPGs; they were gangsters called Highland Park gangsters, right? And
that's right.
so, um, my grandmother never met a stranger. She was a little Aquarius woman. By the time I was born, she was already like 72 or something like that, right?
Oh, wow.
So she was born February 7th, 1919. So she was very prominent in my life. She raised me. We did everything together. But in that household, it was very chaotic. A lot of
Mm,
drug abuse, a lot of alcohol abuse, a lot of abuse, period, because my mom and my
yeah.
dad were going through it and separating and stuff like that. And then I'm growing up with like all of my cousins. So all of my cousins stay in this house and they dropping out of high school, selling drugs, doing drugs,
Mm,
all
mm,
kind of stuff, right? Like a lot of
right.
times we had I always tell these people the stories about roaches because I be like, girl, I ain't scared of no dang on roaches. I grew up with them. They was my cousins at that
Okay.
point because they was over the house. But it was so many of us in this house, so many different parts of the house. But like you might walk in, this bees on the door over there, and then my auntie them over there doing their drugs.
Mm,
And so sometimes in my household, like I remember growing up as a child, like I was always kind of in solitude. I was always kind of in my own world, playing with my imaginary friends, making my own little life,
yeah.
trying to figure out myself and stuff like this. But like it was so bad at some points where I couldn't even eat a bowl of cereal because the bottom of all the spoons were burnt, right?
Child.
And so
Oh,
I didn't know what that was at the time, but I was
yeah.
so very loved. In the midst of all that chaos, I was
Right.
loved. And because
Mm-hmm.
it was so many people in the house, like with different cousins and stuff, I was a victim of like SA from a very young age. So from like, I think like 2 to maybe like 9 or something like that, you know, until my family found out. But I feel like that shaped me in a lot of different ways, like growing up. However, as
Yes.
far as like childhood, I just remember having a very loving childhood, especially with my grandmother, going to the store, going fishing, learning how to cook, learning how to do hair. I taught myself how to do hair. My mom used to braid my hair. So I started braiding everybody hair, doing everybody hair. I was like 7. I'm doing everybody hair.
Good girl.
Yes,
And
I
look
used
at
to do
you
my
still doing
own
it
box
now.
braids in elementary school. Yeah. And so, I had a very creative childhood because I had to like be in my imagination
Okay.
all the time to
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
get out of the chaos. But I still grew up with a very loving mom. Like my mom did not play about me. She worked hard. She was always beautiful, always top tier. And I think growing up, me looking at her work ethic, it helped create who I am as far as in my work ethic,
Absolutely.
right? I'm like, I wanna be just like my mama. She worked hard, she looked good, she's always fine. She was just my idol. So between my mother and my grandmother, they created me, an
Right.
amazing, God led, just spiritual woman, right? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like my kindness and everything that's in me, like, came from the both of them. And my strength definitely embodies both of them. So, yeah. That's
Absolutely.
a little
See, my
bit. I could
thing,
go more
well,
in depth, but we'll be here all day.
we don't listen, girl. It's okay. You know how we do. Okay. But
Yes.
I wanted to say the statement about like everything that you went through as a child being violated. I feel like not enough people pay attention to the fact that it sometimes it could be your uncle, sometimes it could be somebody you don't know, but most of the time it's your cousins. It's people that you're around and stuff like that. Um and it has a lasting effect. I feel like a
Mhm.
lot of mothers, a lot of parents should really pay attention to that and really
Yes.
try to be mindful of those things and stuff like that. How has that affected you as a mother now?
Okay.
The way that you view your kids going over and staying around other kids and all of that stuff. Like, how do you feel like that affected you?
I feel like I didn't realize how it affected me until like getting older. I used to always be like, I knew my mom was actually really strict with me, right? I couldn't spend the night at cousin's house. I couldn't
Right.
spend the night at friends' house. I couldn't go to some parties, and it got worse after that situation.
Hmm.
Um, but I remember growing up when I was like, when I have kids, I'm gonna be, nice with my kids, and I'm gonna let them do these things. And come to find out, I did
Okay,
not.
girl.
Right, my kids, and it's crazy because it's nothing that to brag about because I wanted them to
Yeah.
have a lot of the experiences that I have with growing up in family, right? But I feel like because of where my life was going and how I decided to raise my children, we kind of grew up a little bit more isolated.
Hmm.
Because they've never spent the night with a cousin. They've never been over
Yeah.
their cousin's house besides like
Yeah.
going to play and stuff like that. And I come back to get them. But
Definitely.
God blessed me by having a solid tribe, a
Yeah.
team of people because they have their grandmothers, they have on both sides, they have their grandfathers
Yeah.
on both sides, they have
Yeah.
their
That's the
dads.
blessing.
It's so blessed to with the support system I have. And so I never really had to have a babysitter or go over to cousin's house. And so I think that God kept them away from the type of things that could have gotten to them because of the things that I had already endured for them, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think that is very important for people to be mindful of their kids going to other people's houses, and
Right.
even the ones that are in your house, just be mindful. Like, you just always
Yes,
kind of be
yes.
on 10 when it comes to your kids. Like, I was raised, you couldn't sit on the uncle's lap. You got to do the long hug, the
Even your own
sideways
damn
hug.
daddy, honey. You couldn't.
Yes. And
Yeah.
so I think nowadays things are different for people, but it definitely affected how I raised my children. And it
Yeah.
made me have a more communicative, we have a
Relationship with them.
conversation type of relationship. Yeah, me and
Yeah.
my kids, we communicate. And not
That's
saying that my mom, I couldn't talk to her, but I because I could, but I think it was more
Yeah.
fear based. I'm scared if I get a whooping.
Absolutely.
I'm scared if I do this because I'm gonna get in trouble, and so
Mhm.
that caused me to be quiet. And not until I got in therapy, my therapist was like, that affected more than just my not me going out being very sexual, because it had nothing to
Right.
do with my sexuality, but it had something to do with me being promiscuous, because
Yes.
I wanted to
Absolutely.
take control of my sexual energy, because I
That's
was
what
born
happened.
with it,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
But I feel like she told me, she said, because this incident happened to you, right, and this person was close to you, and you continue to love that person, you continue to adore that person, like that
Protect
was my
them.
favorite
Right.
cousin all the way up until
Right.
he passed away. And
Mhm.
so it was like once he came back into my life, nothing happened. So it taught me that people who have done wrong to me, I could still find a way to love them, right? I will still hold on to
Yes.
them, still keep them around. And that was like one of the reasons I've stayed in certain situations where I should have been not in that situation, is of danger to
Well,
you.
yeah, it definitely it's like the gift and the curse, right? Like with those
Hmm.
kind of situations, it's definitely the gift and the curse. It's like it's a blessing to be able to have such a forgiving heart, a kind heart, or to be able to step back and still see the person and not the transgression. But
Hmm.
at the same time, it puts you in situations, like you said, longer than they should be, or you find yourself protecting people that don't need protecting, or you find
Exactly.
yourself, when somebody tells you that they've changed or and things like that, then you end up trying to be like more apt to believe them because as that little girl or little Lily, you
Hmm.
all you wanted was for the person to just change how
Yes.
they were doing it and maybe apologize or
Hmm.
maybe stop doing it. Just stop doing it, right? You would
Right.
it would be so easy if the
And
person would
also,
just stop doing it.
it resonated, that just because it resonated in my brain in a way where somebody can be doing something bad and it feel good, right? Or it is good, right? But they're
Right.
literally doing bad. So it was hard for me to differentiate the two and be able to set boundaries with that. And
Yeah.
I had I've had an issue with boundaries ever since then. And not until like couple years ago in like my last relationship, we were talking, and that person, we were arguing, and they were like, your issue is you don't have boundaries, and you think because you don't have boundaries, I don't supposed to have boundaries, and your boundaries were crossed at such a young age that you never set that into place. And so when they said that, I was like, well, that just clocked my teeth.
Like, you
I I was like, oh wow. But from that moment, I literally processed things differently because I had never had anyone put it
tell it
to
to you
me
like
in
that.
that perspective, right? And so I
Mhm.
really valued that because it helped me to go in and like learn, like, hey, maybe I do expect these things of others that I'm not even giving to myself. So
Hello?
what other area in my life am I doing that in? And it was like every area. I was being a real people pleaser because
And that
I didn't
is
even
it.
know what my boundaries were.
Exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
girl, we're gonna get into that in a minute because
Yeah.
baby, and let just to let y'all know, for whoever might do this, my missing nail is a paid actress. Okay, I didn't
Okay.
have time to fix it, so that's what you need to know. Um,
Yes.
and so now growing up, now you said that this definitely played a part in the way that you show up in relationships and friendships and all kinds of parts of your life. Like you don't think that this one area would cause all of this in the other areas of your life. So now let's talk about the mug shots. Okay. We gonna get into these mug shots. How many we gonna once and for all, because can't nobody make you feel a way about something that you own, right? How many mug shots does Lee want to Leah have, baby?
It's not even that many. I think some of them go. It's three, I believe.
Okay,
I think we just at
okay,
three.
okay,
So
good, good.
they're all different times. But the last time I think I got the most charges because so I was okay, let me
Huh?
get into it. So when it comes to the mug shots, my mom was a very strict mom, right? She
Mhm.
did not play. My mom did not play at all. She didn't play video games with me. You hear me?
Okay, at
And
all.
I think I was just easily influenced. I was rebellious. Like my parents always gave me money. My mom used to actually get paid from her bi-weekly paycheck where she got to pay bills out of. She would come home from her job and literally give me $100, $200. Right?
Mhm.
Like, baby, I need go do what you want to do. Get you some clothes, get you some shoes, get your hair done, nails done, whatever it was. Now, this is started at a
Mhm.
young age. My dad, he always
Right.
gave me money too. He come in from on the road, he give me money and stuff. So there was absolutely no reason I should have been in Walmart stealing thongs and lip gloss. But I'm out with my friends. And I'm like, my cousin's still out of time. Like, if they could do this, I could do this. You know what I'm saying? And so,
Oh man.
no, it didn't work that way. I was not good at it because clearly I got
That
caught.
wasn't true.
But that was the first time. I was like, I think I was like 16 years old.
Ah,
No, I don't even remember. So it would have been like four more mug shots because this time, that was the first time, y'all. That officer got so scared for me. You know when they pull you in the corner at Walmart or whatever,
yeah.
you got to go in that little room. I'm like, please, I got money. Let me pay for it. They like, nah, you got to go. You finna go to juvenile.
You gotta go.
So I'm like, oh my god. Whatever you do, just do not call my mama. Take me to jail. Take me to juvenile. Just don't call my mom.
Oh
They
my
said
god.
we gotta call your a parent. I called my sister-in-law. I had them call my sister-in-law to pretend like she was my mom. They realized this not my mom. My mom get hold to it. My mom didn't even have a car at the time. How she got to Walmart, I don't know. It's like
Okay,
she
listen.
astro projected there. That lady walked in there with that bag like Medea. She was like, "What's going on?" The way she cussed me out, how bad I was crying, the wrath that was coming off of her, the officers come to find out, they didn't even turn the paperwork in. That's how bad they knew I was gonna get in trouble.
Dang. They was like, well shit. She gonna do worse than we could ever do to her.
You hear me? So after that,
What?
you wouldn't even think that I would do it again, but I did it again. Right. I had my mind this time and I used to love dressing her up like a baby doll. So I'm in Old Navy, I'm in Gymboree, I'm buying all this
All of it.
expensive stuff, but I wanted her to have expensive stuff. But then when I ain't want to pay for it, I'm thinking I can get away with it. So but that was that time I got caught, and that's when I actually got a record. So I have a mug shot. It was still under 500. I tried to pay my way out. It didn't. But you'll get a thing called a diversion or something. It's like when you get in
Okay,
trouble.
deference or something like that.
Yeah, they like you can't get in trouble for a year. You on probation. You do these public work
Oh,
days. You
okay.
don't have to go to jail. So I did the public work days. I'm on paper, but now I'm violent because I'm grown. I'm arguing with my baby daddy. I'm it's going crazy. So now I'm just out here terrorizing the world because I'm an angry black girl, right? I'm young, I'm turned, and I'm just in my ego. So there we go with
Mhm.
that. And then I think that just continued to escalate. I felt like I could like do things and just have my way and get away with it. I wasn't gonna have no repercussions. So I ended
Mhm.
up getting charged with aggravated burglary, aggravated assault times two, and vandalism times three. And the state actually picked up the case. So I was on like it's called the third floor. I was
So
like
they
facing a
was,
felony.
ooh,
It was three
girl.
felonies actually. So
Yeah.
they was like, "Oh, you going to prison." So my dad, he had to pay like it was like over $5,000. He paid this expensive lawyer, and the lawyer used to be a judge. And luckily, God was on my side and gave me another
Yes.
shot because I didn't have to go to jail. But they was trying to send me out because I had broke the diversion and everything, girl.
Mhm.
So and then even on top of
Girl, just,
that, I had found out that my baby daddy is the one who had sent them to my house. And I was back with him. My little cycle of going back. So at that moment, I remember we was in court and they was like, this one, this one. And I said, "You wrote up a paper on me?" I dumped him right then and there. And I ain't go
I
back
would
ever
have
since.
too.
Yes, because like what? I did not know all that, but I was acting crazy. I I literally kicked the door. You know how the door got the hinges like a door locked?
Hmm.
The whole
Hmm.
framing of the door flew in. That's how hard I kicked that door. The whole framing, the whole door just said blue.
Oh my God.
And I ain't even stopped. So yeah, that was just a bunch.
It's all right. Listen, we're the whole purpose of this is to let everybody know how far you've come, okay?
Yeah.
From that. What jobs did you have before you started YouTube?
Oh wow. So okay, my first job, my very first job was Crystals, the Crystal
Okay.
Burgers. I worked at Crystals. I was
Oh,
like
ooh, I love me
15.
some Christmas.
Girl, yes. I said, Mom, I'm finna get a job. And I was on a dance team. So I worked, I was dancing, I was doing all of that, right? I'm like 15 and I'm getting a check. And that was my first experience at work, and I loved it. That was my first experience at getting a check for myself. And I, besides like doing hair. Now, if you want to
Yeah.
say my first job, I was doing people hair in the hood. I was the braider. I used to do the
Okay.
twist, the knot twist, the
Oh God,
the
girl, yanking
crimp.
out all of our edges, all the hair. But it was so
Yes.
cute though. But good
Yes.
Lord, that was a tight ass hairstyle. Oof.
I worked at McDonald's for like 3 days. I got fired from there because me and my best friend at the time, we got into it with one of the customers, and we was finna beat her up, this girl who came in. And so I got fired from there. And I was pregnant, not with Mariah, but I was pregnant before I got pregnant with Mariah with a baby. And I had a miscarriage and I had to have a
I'm sorry
DNC.
to hear that.
Yes.
Oh,
And I didn't even know I was pregnant. I was like the least expected in my family to get pregnant because I didn't want kids because I had to babysit everybody's kids.
oh, girl, that's birth control. That is birth
Yes.
control for you. It could definitely be that.
It was crazy because when I was younger, and I remember like first grade or kindergarten, I used to say, I want 7 kids like my grandma because I wanted a big family.
Yeah.
And I don't know, as I got older, I realized how annoying kids are. I really don't have the personality for kids like that. So I was
Not
like,
that
I really
many.
don't like kids. And so, yeah, I like my kids.
Right, that's it. That's it.
Yes.
That's all. Oh my gosh. So you did Crystals, McDonald's for 3 days. Any other job? What other jobs you had before YouTube?
Daycare. I worked at a daycare
Okay.
when I had my mind. And that was fun, but that was also traumatizing because it was like I've already had this thing with kids. So I
Right,
worked with
dealt
the
with that.
babies.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. You like
And
the babies.
then what I do after that? Oh, the retirement home. I love older people because I took care of my grandma my whole life, right? She
Yeah.
passed away when she was 89. She died in my arms. I did CPR on her. I was 8 months pregnant with my mom when I did CPR on her, and she passed away. And I only went through with my birth of Mariah because I knew my grandma was older. She had already
Mhm.
beat breast cancer, and I'm like, she done got to see everybody else's kid. I think
Yeah.
I need to let my grandma be able to see my kid. And she
That's right.
died July 31st, and I had my mom August 29th. So one
Okay,
month
girl.
before. And I was
You know.
devastated.
I know.
Yes.
I
But
know.
oh, I worked at Ulta Beauty. That was my favorite
Okay,
job.
I can see that. I can see
Yeah.
that.
I was a prestige beauty consultant and they're selling everybody
Mm.
the makeup, girl. I just used to love it. And I actually it's so crazy because that was 2015, right? And I was working there. I remember I did events with Benefit Cosmetics. All the different beauty companies used to come in. They would host these
Mm.
different things, and we would learn about the company or go to these different conventions. Also, was a very fun job. Ultimately, I wanted a job because I wanted that 40% discount. But I
That's
learned so much about makeup and beauty, and
yeah.
that's what got me interested in starting the YouTube channel. And so
Oh
I
wow, I was
didn't
just
start the
about to ask you
YouTube.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you started YouTube. That started making you feel like you wanted. So did you when you started? Was it like mainly like you doing makeup, doing hair and stuff like that,
So
or
what's crazy is I started YouTube actually in 2008. And that was when I had my mind. It used to be this thing on YouTube called Watch Me Shrink. I was not
mm,
used to my size after I
mm,
had my mind. I was like, girl, I gotta lose this weight. So my brother
mm.
had this old school iMac, the desktop iMac, and it had the webcam. It's 2008. So
Yes.
my channel name at the time was Kitty Cat Den because Also, I was a dancer, and my name,
What was your name? What was your stripper name? What was your stripper name, boo?
my name was Miss Kitty, but I also
Period.
used to go by Ferrari, right?
Okay. Period. Okay, so if you can name me, because in my head, I
Girl.
was a stripper in my head in a past life. What
Yeah,
would you name me
you
if
know what? I had a homegirl. Her name was Tasty. So whenever I think about Toya, I think about Tasty.
that's what I used to call myself in high school.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not playing. I used to call myself in high school. That was my tag name, and I used to call myself Tasty. And
Are
I
you
I
kidding?
I gotta find the damn thing where I used to draw it and everything, sketch it. I used to call myself Tasty. That's what people used to call me in high school.
That is
Absolutely.
so crazy. So look,
Yep.
not my little Spidey sense. I be knowing.
You do. You do. I be telling you all the time.
Yes. But yes, girl, I was a dancer. I started dancing at 18 and then I stopped at like 20 when I got with my son's father. So that's a whole
Tell
nother
somebody
hoorah.
about dancing. Like, how did you like? How was what was your experience as a dancer?
My experience was fun because I think I came in at a time where, first of all, the era had already started. So this is like 2008, 2009. They was making good money. Even here in little
Yeah.
old Chattanooga, we had
Mhm.
clubs, we had things to do. All the rappers, I remember Young Dolph, T.I., all
Okay.
the people used to come through the city. They used to be here in the city. And I worked at this club called Club Plush. It was inside of a club
Period.
called Club Drink. And
Okay.
it was scary at first, but I've kind of always been a dancer. I've always been a good twerker. So, and I always
Mhm.
had like a big personality and been my own person. So it was just like,
Right.
let me go to this amateur night and see what I
Heard.
could do.
Do a little
Come to
shimmy.
find out, it was lit. It was lit. I met a lot of interesting characters. I met a lot of interesting characters, but I also learned a lot about being a woman, and I learned a lot about, like, I had already knew a lot about. I was My brother was a big influence in my life, so he was my second father, right? He always used to be
Mhm.
like, these niggas, they want what you got, right? At
That's
the
it.
end of the day, you run this. And so going in there, adapting even more of that mindset, I feel like it introduced me to a realm of fast money that I didn't even know existed.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
girl, yeah, I was slick, a little madam.
Period. Listen, we're gonna talk about that off camera, okay? We're gonna talk
Yeah.
about that. Cause you just said the name of something else that is in my life that you just that is that hasn't I haven't told nobody about. And
Okay.
I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna say something to you about that off
Okay.
camera. But I could see that. I mean, I feel like I see you being very comfortable in your womanness, your femininity, also very
Mhm.
comfortable in, what you expect out of people that you might date or your partner and things like that as
Mhm.
well. It's like I feel that you have like a high um standard that you want the people in your life to uh experience. Like
I
they
love
ain't gotta come to you like that. It's like you're
it.
not
Mhm.
so bougie that they gotta come that way. Even though we're gonna
Mhm.
talk about that later in the coaches
Yes.
that. But when they get there, you want everybody to leave better than they came, and that's a blessing to be that way and be that type of person.
I It's so crazy because I think people in this realm of social media, unless you kind of been following me from the beginning, you have to remember I didn't start blogging until I was 25,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I'm talking about all the years before that, from 18 to 25, right? That was
Mhm,
a substantial time in my life and in my womanhood
mhm.
where even when I graduated high school, I had a best friend, and she tells this story to everybody, so I don't care about saying her name. Her name is Jeree. And
Okay.
Jeree was at my house every day, girl. She was in adult high school at that time because she didn't want to get her grades together. She
Yeah.
wasn't doing what she was supposed to do, right? But I had an apartment at 18. I had already
Yeah.
graduated.
Me
She
too,
was supposed
girl.
to be finishing up her school to be graduating. But we
Mhm,
partying every day. We both working. She worked at Krispy Kreme, I believe. I worked at the daycare. She had
mhm,
a car. I didn't have no car. I was living with my baby daddy, but then he started getting on my nerves, so I put my baby daddy out, forgetting
Mhm.
that he pays all the bills and I've never paid bills before. Right. But it was just like, boy, I'm tired of you. I need to go do me. You know what I'm saying? You need to
Yeah,
get on.
yeah, yeah. Mhm.
So this girl has so much, and still to this day, she's so freaking talented. She is super talented. She can do whatever she put her mind to. She's a
Wow.
business savvy. She can do hair. She can do tattoos. She danced with me as well.
Okay,
Like
okay.
all kind of stuff, right? And so I'm noticing every day. I'm like, you on my couch. You ain't getting up. You keep calling out of work. You ain't going to
Mm,
school. And I was like, you ain't finna be around me and people be like, I'm the reason you ain't graduate.
that
Right?
part.
You finna go do what you gotta do, and I can't be around no bum ass bitch. So that's just literally how I am. And so she's like, what? She literally looking at me like I'm crazy because I'm sitting here telling her we gotta be not friends until you get your
Yeah,
shit together because
yeah.
you not doing what you need to do about your life, and
That's a
I'm
fact.
I'm I'm a hustler. I'm going to get it, and I'm going to make sure I get my shit done. From
That
that
part.
moment, she tell everybody, y'all, when I say Jaree over exceeded, this girl, she owns like
Aw.
3, 4 businesses. She went,
Period.
she started doing hair. She was working at her grandmother's nursing home. She done started her own things. Like she be like, Lee, you cut me off and told me to get my shit together. I got it together. Like, what's up? I'm like, you did exactly what you were supposed to do. And I did
Oh, I
exactly
love
what I
that.
was supposed to do. But it's been several instances since
People,
then.
like, I could
Yes.
tell. I know, I could tell. So now a large part of, if not the whole part of Pocketbook University, is to
Hmm.
help people to elevate. Again, part of your life calling. We'll talk about what we got going on with that.
Okay.
Is to basically leave people better than you found them, right? So you're teaching people how to use YouTube and how to create their YouTube and all of the things. And you've
Mhm.
had quite a few success stories
Yes.
regarding that. What would you tell somebody that is just starting out or wants to start a YouTube channel and they haven't done it yet? What would you want to tell that person?
I feel like it's cliche to say, but it's you know, you don't have to rewrite the wheel, right? The wheel
That
is
part.
it's already written. So
Mm,
therefore, be authentic, be
yeah.
yourself, be consistent, and really I feel like you got to do things from what you already passionate about. Like
Mhm.
the bigger purpose in it is going to unfold as you start doing it, right?
Yeah.
I would say start figure out what it is that you have a good time like naturally creating, because if you get in it and you like, oh, I'm finna do this for the money, I'm finna do this for this, I'm finna do this for that,
Yeah. It's
you're
not
gonna
gonna
stop doing
translate.
it. Yeah, you're gonna
Right.
fall out of love with it because it's going to feel like work. It's going to feel like a job. And I've had my ups and downs with YouTube where I've definitely felt like, oh, I'm treating this like a job now. And I know you want to treat it
Hmm.
like a job because that's how it's paying you, but you want to keep that passion, right?
Absolutely.
So for people starting now, I would say one, always start out with something that's trendy because you want to get into the algorithm.
That
Two,
right. That's right.
try it all. You can create your own niche, but figure out what your audience is going to like, because I know it's so. If you want to do YouTube, I know you're a creative person, so I know it's so many things that you're good at and you are
Absolutely.
able to do. Try all of them and see what works the best, what the algorithm is pulling on, and what flows the best from you, and then go in on it. And when I say go in on it, I want to see you treating this. I have this thing in Pocketbook University where I would say in my class, like, are you gonna treat it like your sneaky link? Is
Mm.
this your the nigga you just dating right now? Or is
Hmm.
this
Hmm.
husband? Okay, is this
Okay.
babe? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and when you think about it that way, the level of how you show up is different for all of these.
For all of you.
Yes. So
Okay.
therefore, what you gonna put into it? How you gonna be? If
That
it's just
part.
sneaking link, that's time to time. You know, I'm gonna do a little bit, but I just know it's gonna be there when I want it to be there.
Mhm.
Then if you treat it like
One.
you dating it, You showing up, you doing a little thing or whatever, but how serious is this commitment finna get? You know what I'm
Come
saying?
on
Like,
now.
are you actually doing the things that you need to be doing to pursue this a little bit harder, right?
Yes,
Or
yes.
for it to work for you? And then when you got, babe, husband, woman, zaddy, whatever it is that you relate to,
One,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, that's a full blown commitment. That
Yes,
means
yes.
you now are in agreement that you're responsible for this and this responsible for you. So how are you going to show up and
No, that's right.
really support what it is that you partnering with, right?
Mhm,
So
absolutely.
yeah, that's how I kind of be
I
putting it.
love
And I
that.
ain't
I
taught
love
that in a
that.
long time because I ain't been doing it.
Well, you listen, she's about to start back. Not yet, y'all, but y'all need to go sign up, create your accounts on her site. All of her information will be in the description box below on how to contact her and everything. But baby, y'all want to get in on this because she's gonna give y'all the breakdown in a way that is real, that you can understand and that you can put into practice. Y'all just seen just that couple of minutes. Okay, she broke it down for you the way some of you hoes needed it. All right.
Okay, you
Okay.
gotta talk to your people the way they get it.
That part, you know?
Yes.
Okay, so with all of the stuff that we talked about like your growing up and
Mhm.
your experience and stuff like that, what would you tell little Lily? And then after that, what would you tell young Lily? Like,
Little
after
Lily.
a move.
Okay. So little Lily, I would tell her to fuck what they say, right? Fuck what they think, fuck how they feel about you. Literally, if I could go back to little Lily, I would like make sure she just showed up for her instead of like
Yeah.
trying to people please and make everybody fit in and make everybody feel comfortable in her energy, and just be that loving person. I would just be like, Lily, do it all. Do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay. It's okay that you got a little butt, that you think that you shaped like a
Okay.
giraffe or whatever they called you. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, later
Mhm.
on in life, they gonna want that exact shape. They gonna want to
They're
look
gonna be
like you. They
buying
gonna
it.
want to.
Okay. They're gonna be
Yeah.
buying it and spending tens of thousands of dollars for it right now.
Yes. I would
Okay.
tell her to
And
keep dreaming.
yeah,
Yes.
that's it. That's it.
Yes.
Okay, so what about young Lily?
Young
After
Lily.
you. Hmm.
I would tell young Lily that relationships can wait. Even though the relationships, I wouldn't go back and change
Of course, of course.
any of them because they created the woman that I am. But I think that I was so honed in on love and having somebody love me properly, because one of my exes used to always say, like, you look at love like a fairy tale. I wanted this fairy tale life, right? And I
You're a
wanted,
Libra.
yes, I wanted my person to love me in a certain kind of way and to make me feel safe and secure in a certain kind of way that I feel like um once I got that, because I don't connect with anybody, I don't connect
Yeah,
with people on that level often,
yeah,
which is why I'm always in a relationship, because
yeah,
it really takes a lot to get to me mentally, and I don't put
yeah.
myself in the environment to go out there and just be dating like that. I'm just not that type of person. But
Right.
I think that to younger Lily, I would just say, you should have put a lot more of that time into kind of learning yourself, loving
Hmm.
yourself, and doing the things that you wanted to do. And I would have also told her to date them all. You know,
I do it
date them
all the time. I'm
all.
sorry. My clients, my daughters, I'm a mother of five daughters, four of which are my
Yeah.
biological, one is a foster daughter. And I tell them
Mhm.
all the time, date them all. Stop
Date them
claiming them.
all.
Date
Yeah.
them all. Don't be
Date them
claiming
all.
everybody. Date them all. Make them work for you
Make
because
them
you're
work
worth
for it.
it. That's
Yes.
it.
And
Yeah,
and
that's a
also,
fact.
like, just because you have the ability to tell somebody what it is that you like, what your standards are, they are able to see what your moral code is, it doesn't mean that they are going to be able to live up to that or fulfill it. Like words are a big thing. People can spill them out like they writing a book,
Mm,
right? But it
that.
can literally be a part of what they making up in they head. And it's
Mhm.
just like if you allow that, I used to go by words a lot because I just needed to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah,
needed to
yeah.
think that you
Air
felt
sign
like you could get
communication.
there. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
And although I'm an action oriented person myself, I'm gonna show you better than I could tell you. I think as long as I felt like somebody acknowledged something, I was going in for it because I'm like, okay, you know what I like, you know what it is, you know what you're supposed to do. So I think it's in there somewhere, and I would just be like, okay, I'm gonna take a bet on this. I bet on too many of,
Mm,
you know what I'm saying? Well, if I would have been dating multiple, then I would have got to see the different personalities, what this
mm,
person got and that person got. I would have been able to see that there's actually more. There's
mm.
more that can be offered to you that can be a better equipped for
Good
you,
for
you know?
you. That you won't
Yeah.
have to work hard for or wait around for. Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
important, especially in your youth when you're young and things like that. Because as you get
Hmm.
older, of course, you don't have the patience. Honestly,
No,
you like, listen, I've been with this person this long, and they might not be doing whatever, whatever, but fuck it, I'm, just out of
that's my issue
not
now.
wanting to start over. Yeah,
Yes.
so
Uh-huh.
it's like, that's some really good things to say to people. What are
Yeah.
some common misconceptions that people have about you, and what is the truth? Okay, because we in real talk with Coach Titi. So real talk. What is the truth and what's the misconceptions?
I think, oh, a common misconception that I know that people have about me is like I can't keep friends. Um, yes, I very much can keep friends. It's just a matter of when their time is up, right? I'm like
Mm,
one of them people who, as a friend, I am the isolated one. Like I be at home, I'm a homebody. I don't have
mhm.
to talk to you every day. I don't have to be around you every day. But you're going to know the impact that I have in your life. I'm going to show up for
Right.
you. I'm going to like love you and do everything that I have to do to make sure you know that I appreciate you and cherish you as a friend, right?
Right.
But I think people misconstrue the fact that when people time is up, their time is just up, and I have no issue with cutting
Parting
ties.
ways. Exactly.
Yes,
As you
with it.
shouldn't.
Right.
As you shouldn't. That's what a lot of people don't realize. You don't have to, you should not stay past your expiration date with
No.
anybody, friendship, relationship, nothing. Even if you
Yes.
marry. If you're not,
Yes.
if you feel like their time is up, the best bet for your evolution and growth and your prosperity is to part ways with that person because God will stall all of your blessings. You
You know
can't
what's
afford that.
crazy? I feel like you know that saying that they have like girls who cut off their friends quick, they always stand with the NIGA longer, right? And I definitely agree with that because I feel like it's more of a sexual chemistry. I'm
Yeah.
passionate with this person, so yeah, I give them a little bit more of a
More
leeway.
leniency.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I definitely
Yeah.
feel like as I've grown older, I've gotten better with both of them. I have to
Yeah.
have these because both of these are relationships, and I have to have boundaries with
Exactly.
it. And I definitely can say, as a Libra, honey, growing up, me being in a relationship and having friends, I was always choosing my nigga. If my nigga
Every
wanted to
time.
spend time with me,
Y'all will choose and not give a damn. Y'all and
you hear me?
Virgos. Libras
I
and
like
Virgos will dip on you. Okay, real
my
quick.
baby calling me. I gotta go. I know I told you we going out to eat.
I ain't going no more. They asked me to go. Like,
Yes.
yeah,
And
that's
I
how it
had to
goes.
learn
Mhm.
and grow up from that. I had to learn how to like value my time because I would just want to be with my person. I would make my person my best friend. Yeah.
That's a mistake because when
Yeah.
you leave them alone, you don't know who the hell you are no more. Like y'all just merge so much
Had to
that
learn
you
that
don't
the
even know who
hard
you
way.
are. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, is there another misconception?
Um, let me see. Besides, I what do people misconceive about me? I don't know. Do you know of it? Oh, besides me, they all say I'm psychotic and all that or whatever. But I mean, I feel like it's a little bit of truth in there. Um,
Just a tinge, okay,
so
just a little bit.
I feel like we all got layers to us. We all got
Mm,
different things. I'm trying to
fact.
think. I don't really pay attention to like the negative comments for real because I got such a supportive group of people. Like my Trulies don't
Absolutely
play.
around you. Yeah, they
Yes.
don't. One of the misconceptions that I've noticed is that I feel like a lot of people that haven't really paid attention, they might come in, they might think you're a mean girl.
They
I feel like
do.
they think you're a mean girl.
And you know
And
what's crazy? I got that from when I was in high school. Girls used to be like, I guess they was like, I thought you was stuck up. I thought you was like this, and this. And I'm like, how did it ever give that? I don't know. Maybe because I
mhm,
am isolated, I am secluded. But when they get to know me, they like, girl, you so bubbly and
you're
loving and just
so sweet,
soft.
you're so kind, and you're
Yeah.
so open. Like, you know, just like you said, everybody has two sides of themselves.
Yes.
And the quicker everybody learn that, no matter what your zodiac sign is, you have another side, a shadow side, as we would call
Yes.
in the spiritual community, to yourself. Then you have what the one that you show other people. And
Exactly.
not for nothing, people probably think you on go all the time too.
They
And
do.
I find that you seem to be very introverted. I feel like you turn it on and off. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Oh
got
my.
used to it.
You know what's crazy? Like from when I was a teenager and I used to be going out to the clubs and stuff, and we done had Facebook for a long time. I done had my
Yeah.
Facebook since 2006. So
Yeah.
I think that people always did call me like a fun girl, party girl, whatever. And that could be a misconception too, because when I go out,
Yes.
I have a great time. I'm going to make sure everybody have a time. We
Because
gonna
why
ball.
not?
But like that's
Exactly. What you
not
going
how
out
I
for?
am on an everyday basis. I'm really quiet. I'm really like observant. I'm really just you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
everybody used to be like, girl, you was shaking ass. You girl, cause we gonna have time. We
No,
gonna turn up.
hello. Yeah.
But they also with me traveling a lot, like with my work and stuff like that. Um, I feel like my work is different from the average woman's work, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I feel like Cardi B was just talking about that on one of her
Yeah.
interviews, and she was saying
Yeah.
something about growing up, my mama was always at work. She worked a 9 to 5,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
when she got home, she cooking. Then she tired. It's time to go to bed. I gotta go to school tomorrow. She
Right.
gotta go to work. So
Absolutely.
I still work. Although I don't work a 9 to 5, I work every single day, day in, day out. I don't just work
That's
nine to
what
five, I
people
work
don't
24
know.
hours a day.
Telling you.
And
Yeah.
sometimes that work requires me to travel and be away from home. And my kids brought that up. It's a video that we filmed last year that I never released on the LMB family channel. And I
Hmm.
asked my kids a question like that, and I probably have released it to so y'all can see they honest answer, and I don't
Yeah.
want to give it away, but it kind of had made me have a little mom guilt with one of the questions that they how they answered it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well, I'm gonna dedicate this time to them. And it's crazy because I end up doing the opposite. I was finna move, I was finna go away, but God knows my heart so much. God hears me so well that the way that my life was orchestrated this year was so perfect
Mhm.
and it fell into place so amazingly, like gracefully, for what my kids had said on that interview, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know, God is just so good. So
I know,
yeah.
right? It's like whenever you look back on those things, that's what a lot of people conceive about business owners or entrepreneurs in general. They
Yes.
think that, oh, we get to just pick our schedule. We don't want to
Yes.
work. We don't have to work. Baby, we work 24 hours a day.
Yes.
So if you're coming into this and thinking, oh, it's so you could be free as far as your schedule is concerned,
Hmm.
just know that you don't, it's sometimes you have to really consciously divide and like make boundaries when it comes to business, because if not, you'll be working all day every day 24 hours a day when you're on holidays, when you got your kids, when you're going on trips with your children and all of that. And it's a lot. It's a lot. We give a
And
lot to our people, for
I
real.
think people misconstrue that too, because in the beginning, I remember being, I started, but I became an entrepreneur in my last relationship. So therefore, a lot of my development, I have to refer to that time, right?
Right, yeah, of course.
So in the beginning of becoming an entrepreneur, I worked day in, day out tirelessly, all type of
Yeah.
hours. I didn't have a turn off button. Y'all have to remember, in the beginning of my YouTube career, if you new here, not true here, I was posting 3 videos
Okay.
a day for months straight, right? So that
Mhm.
means I would be posting in the morning, in the noon, and at night, every single day for 30 days straight on end, right? And so you know
Mhm.
how much editing that was, you know how many emails that was, you know how much
Baby.
time that took, right? And so my partner at the time used to be like, you don't have an off. And once I start getting some money, baby, I like it. I like money. So it's like,
Yes.
I gotta do more, I gotta do more. And I
Yes.
think that in the beginning, you have that drive, but you will get to that burnout, right? And you try to avoid the burnout, but I think it's a lesson that everybody got to learn. So I feel like go hard,
Absolutely.
do what you got to do. But because I lack boundaries, how you do one thing is how you do everything. I didn't have boundaries even with my entrepreneur journey, right?
Hello? Say
So people
that.
can call me at whatever time at night. They can message me about this. They can do this. They can do that. It had no set schedule and it was chaotic and it showed
Mhm.
up. It showed up well, but on the out and out, it was really chaotic. And I feel
Yeah, for
like,
you, yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy. That's true though. That's true. So with
um,
all of that being said, what are you proud of that you've overcome?
wow. You know what?
You
It's
have
crazy.
to you don't
So
even think about it, do you?
I don't. I think that this year I've had to think about it more than often because I've overcome so many different things. I've overcome just being a young black teen mom in a small town
Yeah.
who, was raised in chaos, in drug abuse and physical abuse and verbal abuse, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I've overcame so many different things, from struggling, being on welfare and food stamps, having two different baby daddies,
Yes, that's so
being just that girl from the hood. I've overcame so many different things. And I think that one of my most proud moments was when I realized I actually became a good mom. Right. I
okay.
used to have so much stress on me about that because people used to talk about it when I was younger. They used to be like, I had so much help that they used to say, like, she think that having that baby is like a baby doll because I just dressed her pretty and I had
Mhm.
so much help. So I really just got to have my baby like 2 days a week sometimes because she would be gone with
Mhm.
her grandparents and dad and stuff like that, right? And
Mhm.
then it ultimately embedded in me that I wasn't a good mom because I got to live my life. I got to actually
Mhm.
experience still being a young adult while having
Yeah.
a kid. And a lot of people don't get to experience that. They have to
No, they don't. I
immediately,
was a big mom for sure.
yes. And so I
That's
had
a
a lot of mom guilt in the beginning of becoming a mom and having my son. I think that's why God allowed me to have my son, because before I had my son, I had a miscarriage too. I've had two miscarriages, and when I had my son, I'm like, okay, what I do with one, I can't do. I got to do for the other. It's like an equal
right.
thing, right? So it
Yes.
made me step up as far as being a mom. Like, okay, I'm really a mom. I really got two humans who look up to me, and it had me grow up. But even in the midst of that, that's why I started YouTube, why I said I wanted better. I always wanted better, but it gave me that grind and my hustle to like really go out and get it. And I feel like with YouTube, this year, October 15th will be 10 years. I posted
Yeah.
my first blog October 15th, 2015. This is the first thing in my life that I've actually stayed consistent with.
I
Everything
love it.
else is a up and down, up and down, up and down, right? Even with my weight
Mhm.
loss, even with how my hair, my beauty, like with my kids, everything else, it's been up and down, up and down. I've been consistent for 10 years.
Mhm.
And
You
I'm
should
sitting
pat
here
yourself
like,
on the back.
Yes, I did that, and I had to stay relevant. And I be having to catch myself because you'll being an entrepreneur, you will find yourself comparing yourself to others, and you have to get out of it
Yes.
quick. And you
Woo.
think, oh, I'm supposed to be big like this, or I'm supposed to be that, or maybe I messed up my career. I should have been doing this, or I should have did that. No, you're
Hmm.
exactly where you're supposed to be. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing at the exact time you're supposed to be doing it. Could some things have
That's
been delayed? Yes, but it still was already written. And you are who you are supposed to be. And I have to pat myself on the back for that and give myself thanks for that. And
as you
it's
should.
like,
So we're gonna say it like this.
yes,
I
I
am
am
am a wonderful mother.
a wonderful mother.
I am an
I am
entrepreneur,
an entrepreneur.
and I am healing.
And I am healing. Yes.
That's right, girl.
Right. And I'm like
So
healing out loud. Like healing on
that's
camera is
right.
kind of crazy.
And that's
Yeah.
the beauty, and that's the beauty of it. It's kind of crazy, but guess what? It's necessary because
Right.
I feel like a lot of, if it were not for women like you and women like me, people would have no place to, they would have nothing to look to be like, okay, well, I saw that this person did it, so I
Mhm.
can do it. There's somebody, some young girl right now that's a teen mom that probably don't think she can be where you are. There's
Mhm.
somebody that it has been violated as a child that they don't think that they can come out of this space of depression or feeling over sexualized and feeling
Mhm.
like that's all they have to offer. There's
Right.
a mother that feels like she's gonna have to work and make minimum wage her whole life, and then she sees Liwanta, okay,
Yeah.
on YouTube, living out loud, healing out loud, owning those things about herself, so nobody can ever make her feel bad about it again. And
Mhm.
so it's definitely necessary. So it's very, very necessary. I'm so proud of you for one, but I tell you that all the time, okay?
Yes. I
But we're
think
gonna get into
I'm
yes.
sorry.
Go
I was just
ahead.
about to end that off with y'all. That's how Pocketbook University was started, right? That's what Pocketbook University is for. So when I was 18, I worked at a retirement home, and I remember one. I didn't even know the word entrepreneur. I don't think. I don't think I knew that word, right? I just knew I wanted to own a business, or I used to always imagine myself, not really being a lawyer, but just how you imagine yourself being this boss in the big building with
Yes,
the floor
honey.
to ceiling windows
With
with a
the
nice
system,
outfit. Like
yes.
I used to be like, I'm a boss, right? But what am
Yeah.
I a boss of? And when I wanted to start um that up, I didn't have anyone around me who I could go to and say these
Yes,
ideas to, and then they would be
exactly.
able to guide me or give me help, right? And so, Pocketbook
Right.
University, it came from my sister-in-law. Actually, used to call the vagina the pocketbook. You don't let
Okay.
anybody just in your
Sure.
pocketbook. You don't
My
put your
family too. I'm
pocketbook
from
on the floor.
Mississippi. Yeah, they be like the pocketbook. Yeah, or
Yes.
the cookie.
Yes, you
Hmm.
treat your pocketbook with value and care. Can't anybody just go in your pocketbook, right? And so it was really Pocketbooks of America because I wanted to aim for women to teach them the value of their pocketbook. How if
Yeah,
you own one of these pocketbooks, you have so much power within yourself to do
absolutely.
these things. And I wanted to be a resource and a guide for them if they wanted to start doing hair or start a business or become a real estate agent or whatever. At that time, I wanted to be the source, the hub for that, but
For the
I had nobody. And so
yeah.
I created Possible University at 18, and it didn't come to life until 2022.
Okay.
Right. So, yeah, that's what it was supposed to be for. That's
That's
what
what
it's
people need to
about.
understand as well. Just because it's not right now, where you start is not where you will end up.
Yes.
And just because you might have a dream for something and it seems to be getting deferred or it seems to be taking a little while longer, doesn't mean it won't happen.
Exactly.
Never, ever give up on your vision and your dream. Allow God to do what God has to do to get you there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So now, we're going to get a little seedy or whatever,
Okay.
before we get off this thing. So,
Yes.
what really happened that caused
Okay.
you to go back to your ex? Because I was about to say the nickname I got. We ain't going
Yeah.
to do that.
You know, oh Lord. I always get like when okay, so when it comes to me and my ex, that was a 10-year relationship, right? I was with that person from 21 years old all the way to 30. I met that
Yeah.
person at 20, right? And
Mm.
so that was a major part of my life. And
Yeah.
at that time in my life, I had never loved anybody the way that I had loved that person, right? And so
Mhm.
I believe that I went back for many reasons. One,
Mhm.
I think my ego was it played a very big part at that time because I wanted to let people
Mhm.
know that there's no one up in me and I can really have whatever I want. And I had to prove to myself and to that person that I had more power than I let on, right?
Okay.
And so yeah, that was a part of it. And
That's
then the other
understandable.
part of it is that just everything that we just talked about when it came to my mindset, how I was raised, and my attachment issues. Very codependent, very attached, very much thinking this was the person that I was going to spend the rest of my life with. And it very much so was a very detrimental time for me because when I chose to release that person, I had to figure out me. And during that, going back helped me to figure out me even more,
Even
right?
more.
It helped me to
Absolutely.
realize that I had grown in the areas that I had not even grown in. It helped me to realize like what I really did like and did not like, and that I
Yeah.
had the power to leave or stay. It was like a whole flip thing, right? And I just feel like because I know a lot about relationships and dynamics, I'm a Libra. We kind of
Man.
always spin the block,
The love
especially if we
vibes.
love
Yeah.
somebody. Yeah,
Mhm.
but even just taking that out of it, I had to see for myself. Point blank, period.
Absolutely.
I had to see for myself, and nobody, not the internet, not nothing was finna take play
Stop
in
that
it.
from happening. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that in that time though, because y'all know I had my other situation going on, I don't think nobody knew behind the scenes like what I was going through with that situation,
Yeah.
right? And so
Yeah.
I was in a place where I was single. I was
Mhm.
separated. I was doing what I wanted to do and I decided to go and entertain this again because that's what I decided to do. And
Yeah.
how I've always been very straightforward, very confident. Like this
Yeah.
girl one time she said when I first met you, I just thought you was cocky. No, that's confidence. I know
That's
what I
confidence.
want. I do what I want. Nobody can direct where it is that I go. I ain't finna listen to nobody but me. I am
That's
down
right.
to take constructive criticism, but I make my own decisions and I don't do things without being ready to stand on it afterwards, if that makes
Absolutely.
sense.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Like you're gonna
yeah.
even whatever the situation is or whatever it is that you chose to do, it's like
Mhm.
I constantly see you, and this is why I don't understand why people say that you lack accountability. Because
Mhm.
I've only seen you own
Yeah.
the decisions that you've made. I don't
Yeah.
know, you know what I'm saying? But because people don't want you, they want you to be a certain level of apologetic about it. I
Mhm.
think that's what pisses people off. That's not
Yeah.
accountability. You want them to be apologetic. You want them to be like, oh well, I shouldn't have made that decision, and I was the no. She's saying I made the decision. I apologize for what I've done to wrong you or what
Yes.
made you feel away, but I
Yes.
cannot apologize for something that I chose to do. So
Exactly.
I'm glad that you finally decided to speak on that because everybody and their mama decide they want to try to speak for you or put you in a
Yes.
position where you say whatever you have to say. But at the end of the day, like you said, I
Mhm.
was going to ask you what you learned from the situation. You're telling me, you're letting me know you learned from your
Mhm.
own more about yourself as a result of that. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So what was the final straw that made you be like, what the hell am I doing? Like, why am I even messing with this person again? What was
I
that?
think just honestly, the final straw was I it was a lot that came into play. But for me personally, I think I finally realized like this person was not going to perceive me in the way that I felt like I needed to be perceived, right? Like you
Mhm.
weren't getting me, you weren't taking me, and you wanted to think what you wanted to think about me. And I felt
Mhm.
like they just ultimately wanted to feel a certain type of way. And I
Yeah.
think that
Yeah.
I have been kind the whole entire relationship. And I had been loving, and I know that I had my flaws, but I
Yeah.
feel like one of the things that that person always brought out of me
Mhm.
was change, right? If I felt
Mhm.
like or if they felt like something was not correct, I would work on it. I'd be like, okay, you're right. I didn't do that right, or that was wrong, or maybe I wasn't thinking about that right. I'm going to actively work on it, whatever. But I felt like when I went back to that situation and I saw that this person was really like exposing me, exposing my vulnerability, really taking my kindness for weakness, really not valuing the things that I brought to their life, really not even like valuing me as a person. And so
Yeah.
I started to just wanted to be this person's friend, because when you're in a long-term relationship, that person,
Yeah.
that's your
It's a
bestie, right?
friendship. Yeah. Mhm.
So I even just wanted to be friends, because I'm like, okay, I can see spiritually what's going on. And I
Mhm.
think that even that started to get misconstrued, right? Because I'm sitting here trying to just benefit of the doubt, benefit of the doubt, benefit of the doubt. And
Mhm.
it just kept going south. So when I realized, like, hey, how many times you gonna keep trying to fix this? How many times you gonna keep trying to? That's a control issue on your part. Because how can you
Mhm.
fix somebody else? You're
Right.
not responsible for
Hello.
anyone but yourself, right? And if
Mhm.
this person want to feel this way about you, want to think this way, and a lot, I can't say honestly, a lot of that person's, I'm really attracted to mindsets, and at that time that
Mhm.
person's mindset was very extended. And
Right.
I'm like, okay, I get that. Like that sounds good. That I
Mhm.
understand. Let me work on that. Ooh,
Yeah. Yeah.
but how is this actually serving you, Lily? What is it actually doing for your growth? I know that you're growing in a pain type of way, but how would it serve you in the future? And so it was another one of them situations, as far as like even with friendships. I think once I kind of placed it in the mindset of this is like a friendship, and when my friendships don't even benefit me in that extent
Leave
anymore,
no.
like
Right.
I have to let it go. So I had to be like, okay, you have to let this person grow on their own. They have to live their own life, and you can also love somebody from a distance.
That's
And
it.
I think that helped me. And therapy helped a lot with that, because I released control. And
Yes.
so I think with me being frantic and stuff, I kept trying to control the situation, control. And you
Yeah.
don't possess
Yeah.
nobody, you don't own nobody. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so I think I just
Absolutely.
wanted it to go the way that I wanted it to go. But yeah.
So now, with that being said, we're gonna we're gonna circle back to that.
Okay.
How did you and you and Glamazante get back on the good foot with y'all friendship?
You know what? It's so many different ways that I can answer that. So one, I'm finna say, I had been speaking about it for a long. So y'all, if y'all don't
Yeah.
know by now, I think Toya, she mentioned it at the beginning, but she is my coach as well as my spiritual coach. And so one day she just calls me and she's like, I'm walking. And I had been having dreams about Tay
Mhm.
before this. And I'm like, I don't know what that's about, because I'm a Libra. I'm stubborn. I can love you from a distance. Like, I would have no problem
Yeah.
with you at all. Won't say a bad thing about you, but I know how to love you from a distance,
Yeah.
right? And everything about my spirit, I think, was missing this person. And so when Tay did the interview or whatever, I think that a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people could see that she had no bad blood either. And so they were like, what? But anyway, Toy called me and she's like, I think it's gonna be you, Lily. She said, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. I gotta get myself together and blah blah blah. And she was like, pray about it. And I
Mm.
literally went to go pray about it. Y'all, that was like the hardest thing I ever did in my life, honestly and truthfully, because I like to let shit lie. And it
Mhm.
just lie forever. You know what I'm saying? Like lie down. We country. So yeah. But
That part.
I prayed about it and I asked God and I said, you know what, I'm gonna reach out to this person because I feel like we both stubborn, but I do feel like this person still has love for me as well. I don't know if it's the same, but you won't know unless you try. And so I end up texting her and saying, hey, can we talk? And then y'all, when I say it took her so long to text me back that I was so nervous, I had so much anxiety that I had to go to sleep because it felt like, you know, when you send a nasty text to your ex or some
And
shit
then,
like that, and you like, what this nigga finna do? You know what I'm saying? I don't
right.
know, but
And then they
I
don't
felt
answer, and you just
disturbed.
like, oh, like,
Yes. And so anyway, she texted me back and she was like, yeah, we can talk or whatever. And so when we talked, I was nervous at first, but our first conversation was just like, girl, why you ain't say that? Well, why you ain't say that? Well, and it was just like, after that first conversation, she was like, okay, well, we back now. Like, and I'm like, okay, well, we back now. And so it was just like that. It was like no time was
yeah.
even lost. And so yeah, I'm very,
So
very, very thankful for Tor for
happy.
even
I'm
messaging
so
me and telling me
proud
that.
of you. Like so proud. I know it was hard. And I was
Yes.
like, and I when I said it, you was like, I wasn't expecting that. Like,
Yeah, I didn't know what she was gonna
listen,
say, but that was the last thing. I was like, "Oh, girl, no, that's never happening."
like I'm not doing that. I was like,
Yes,
lady, come on, you gonna have to be the bigger person here. He was like, I reached out before. I'm not doing it. I was Lily,
yes.
pray about it. That's how I said I
I'm
had to say pray
like,
about
you
it because
know,
I'm
one
like,
thing about it,
listen.
I don't like feeling like no pussy.
I was
I
like,
don't
oh
like.
my Lord, this girl. That's how come I brought it to you the way I did. Like I had to sit you down and tell you some bad news or something. And I'm like,
Yeah,
yo, she's probably gonna be like, what the hell is going? But it worked out because it made
it
you be
did.
like, okay, call me now.
Yes,
What
and
is
I think
the
that
deal?
one of the things about Tate is one, we both Libras. I love
Yeah,
Libras. I always get along with other Libras. But two
yeah,
is, um, we get each other a lot, and we have a lot of similarities, and I feel like we kind of speak the same friendship love language, and
yeah,
I really love that. And I hadn't had that since she had left, and I used
yeah.
to
Aw,
have that when I was younger with a friend
yeah,
that I had who was my best friend. She was my sister, right? And so I know what it takes to be a good friend. I know what it takes to receive love from a good friend,
yeah.
and I'm just happy that God allowed it to circle back so we can see where it goes
So
from
happy.
here. Yeah.
So y'all recently did Pride together in
Yeah.
Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
What was it like the first? Like, I really wish y'all recorded that. Like,
I know we
what was
didn't.
it like when you guys seen each other the
It was
first
just
time?
like
Like,
two Barbie dolls hugging. Like, yes. I'm like, bitch, she was like, bitch, you look good. I'm like, bitch, you look good. Like, what? And then back to partying. We were just like
I
naturally.
love that. I was just like, yo, I wish I could have been there. I'm all the way in fucking New York, so
Yeah.
I couldn't have been there. But I would have loved to have been there and see that because I just know the energy was dope. I could tell from
Yeah.
both of you guys.
It
You know,
was really
love you guys
good.
to pieces. I
Yeah.
love that. Let me see what else I got here.
Okay.
Um, I was touching on that, and I'm glad you touched on that. Um, because most people don't know, like, that I'm your spiritual coach or your life path coach.
Mm-hmm.
That you've been doing a lot of healing, that you've been in therapy, you've been in shadow work, even though you're very, open about this process that you're in. But I don't
Mm-hmm.
think people think you're as dedicated as you really are to like
Yes.
your growth and your healing process. And
Mm-hmm.
so I wanted to do this interview right now
Okay.
because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like in this self-reflective space of like
Mm-hmm.
wanting to break cycles and things like that. You're really real with yourself right now. Like, listen, I know that
Yes.
you're very self-aware. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people wouldn't think that, because it's judgy. Oh, she need to heal first. And she
Mm-hmm.
doing this, she messing with this person. And she's supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
healing. She talking about she healed. She ain't healed because she's still doing it.
Yes.
Listen, people out there, take it from somebody that I do this for a living.
Mm-hmm.
And also I've been in and out of therapy since I was 9 years old, right?
Yeah.
For unfortunate events. You are
Mm-hmm.
going to be healing every day of your life until you
Yes.
off this feet. So
Yes.
if you think that she's going to turn around and miraculously be healed from everything that she went through and still be
Yes.
on this earth and not a spirit, you're bugging. Okay,
Yes.
give
And
this young
even
lady some grace.
even with
Mhm.
being in my new relationship, like they just put so much pressure on it on me, and I think that's what even caused me to like back up with sharing that, because I was trying to keep
Absolutely.
that to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm like trying to keep that
Yeah.
close to me, and have something for myself, because
Yeah.
I didn't want the
That to
internet
be
to
tainted
taint
as
it.
well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know you got to get ready to go. So the
Yes.
last little question we had, I ain't even gonna ask.
Okay.
We're gonna skip on over that.
Okay, we
But
might do
what
a
I
part
want
two.
Yes, we got to do a part two. I feel like we should do. Y'all comment down in the comment section what
Okay.
questions you think that I should have asked that I
Mhm.
didn't ask, and I'll ask Lily. It'll be like a little Q&A, little sit down and
Yeah.
chill. You know, I'll give me a glass of wine that time, honey.
Okay.
Because y'all do the job for me with the questions.
Yeah.
Um, so comment, leave that down below in the comment section. How can everybody get in touch with you, beautiful lady, if they don't already know? Because
Okay.
you should know. You were under a rock. You know.
Well, I have two YouTube channels. My YouTube channel is Life of Leelee. That's where I vlog. I do all my daily stuff. You see the behind the scenes of my life. And then my main channel is Leelee Yours Truly. And that's where I kind of do like sit down talks, beauty, maintenance, home decor, because I'm decorating Le Chateau, which is my new
Yes.
home. And yeah, all kind of other stuff. I'm pretty much a Jill of all trades, okay?
That's right. So
Yes.
now on the socials as well is going to be Lily yours truly, as you see it on the
Everything is
screen here
Leelee Yours
today.
Truly. Yeah.
Everything is Lily yours truly. So it shouldn't be that hard for you to find her. Okay,
TikTok, Instagram,
all of that.
YouTube. Yes.
Now we are releasing this interview on your birthday.
Yes.
You know, I'm a spiritual teacher, which is I'm a
Mhm.
master manifester, and I am a coach. I
Mhm.
want you to call it in instead of wish for it. You know how people say, "Oh, what do you wish for this year of your life?" This is year
Mhm.
35. It's an amazing year, a major year for you in your life. What is it
Mhm.
you're calling in to year 35 and beyond?
The thing that I'm calling in, the things that I'm calling into my year 35 is an abundance of great health, right? Number one, that's mental health, physical health, strength, just clarity. And I think that goes on with healing, right? I want
Yes,
to be in a place where I have not been in my life, like as far as just like in my healed life, right? And I want to call in an abundance of prosperity, all the new ventures
yes,
that I have going on, real estate, business funding, fixing credit, Pocketbook University,
yes,
YouTube, all of my business adventures. I want them to grow, be abundant, to attract the right people, to attract the right tribe, the right assistance, the right just opportunities. I
yes.
ask that in this new season, me walking into being 35-year-old Lily, or just walking into my 35th year, that I really
35.
call in confidence on a new
Yes.
level, right? So they thought it was cocky before, but it's gonna be like a hundredfold. You know what I'm saying?
It
Like
will. Get ready.
we stepping in rooms and we owning it, and we showing
Period.
up for ourselves, for our business, for our family, for our friends. You know what I'm saying? But more so showing up for me in this new season of my life, and loving on me, and really just always evolving, right? I feel like if you ain't growing, you dead. So
That
in
part.
this new season, I'm just calling in an abundance of those good things. So yeah, for me and those connected
Amen.
to me. Yes.
Amen. I love that. I want to thank you once again for allowing me to be the first person to interview you. Happy birthday, Lily. Y'all better write it in the comment section, honey, because when it comes out, that's when it will be her birthday. Um,
Yes.
And I'm just so grateful. This has been amazing. Y'all stay tuned for part two. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, interact. I'm gonna tell y'all, like I tell my TikTokers, speak when you come in my house. Okay. Uh Write it in the comment section. I'm not bougie. You'll find out about me. In order, if you want to find out about me and my coaching, my website is Spirit Connect Incorporated or spiritconnectinc.com. If you want to book a reading, because I am also a reader, and I also have manifestation oils, very, very powerful ones. You can read reviews for my readings, my oils, all of the things. And I have a intro to hoodoo class coming up next weekend. The tickets on there to be a part of that, as well, if you're just getting into spirituality, are on my website. We have like payment plans at checkout, so no problems with that. But I love you guys so much, and welcome to my Victorious One series. I look forward to the next person. But thank you so much, Leelee.
You're
Love you
so
so
welcome.
much. It's
I
been
love you
so
so
good.
much. Thank you
Peace,
so much.
y'all. Yes, love you. Bye.
Bye.
What?